You've been trained to stay. Trained to stand there while someone talks at you. Trained to nod politely while they take up your time. Trained to smile and tolerate conversations you don't want to be in. The trap is guilt and politeness. You don't want to seem rude. You don't want to hurt their feelings. So you stay. 5 more minutes. 10 more minutes. 20. And the cost. Your time. Your energy. Your status. Every time you stay too long, you teach people they own your time. Every time you can't exit cleanly, you signal that your boundaries are negotiable. Authority isn't loud. Authority is the ability to leave. Today I'm giving you the exact method to exit any conversation with authority and without being rude. You'll get the scripts, the body language, the timing. And by the end of this video, you'll never feel trapped again. Here's the model you need to understand. Your attention is your currency. Every conversation is a negotiation for access to that currency. And when you can leave cleanly, you control the frame. Most people don't understand this. They think staying is kindness. Leaving is rudeness. But that's backwards. Staying when you don't want to is not kindness. It's dishonesty. You're pretending to be present when you're not. You're wasting their time and yours. And you're teaching them that your boundaries don't exist. Leaving cleanly is respect. It's honest. It says, I value both of our time enough to not waste it. I value my boundaries enough to enforce them. I value clarity over false politeness. And when you can do that, when you can exit any conversation with authority and without apology, something shifts. People respect what is scarce. And your time must become scarce. Before you can exit with authority, you need to understand why people keep you talking in the first place. There are 4 motives, and none of them are innocent. First motive, control. They want you stuck. They want to monopolize your attention. They want to demonstrate that they can keep you there as long as they want. It's a power move. The longer you stay, the more they prove they can control your time. Second motive, validation. They want your attention as proof that they matter. Your time is their validation. The longer you stay, the more important they feel. And if you leave, they take it as a personal rejection because they've made your attention the measure of their worth. Third motive, information mining. They want your details. What you're doing, where you're going, who you're seeing. They keep asking questions not because they care, but because they want data. And the longer you stay, the more you reveal. The more they know, the more leverage they have. Fourth motive, status drain. The longer you entertain them, the higher they feel. By keeping you there, by making you listen, by forcing you to engage with their nonsense, they elevate themselves at your expense. Your trapped presence becomes their trophy. Some people don't want conversation. They want possession. And once you see that, once you recognize which motive is operating, you stop feeling guilty about leaving. Because staying isn't kindness. It's enablement. Most people sabotage their own exits. They try to leave, but they ruin it by explaining, by apologizing, by giving reasons that can be negotiated. Explanations invite negotiation. Apologies invite guilt. You say, I really need to go because I have this thing at 5 and I'm already running late, and they say, oh, it's only 2 minutes away. You have time. Just 5 more minutes. You gave them ammunition. You turned your exit into a negotiation. Now you have to defend your schedule, justify your priorities, prove that your reason is valid enough to leave. A decision is a wall. An explanation is a door. When you explain, you invite them to walk through that door, to argue with your reasoning, to counter your excuse, to make you feel guilty for leaving. And here's what most people miss. Polite doesn't mean available. You can be respectful and still leave. You can be kind and still set boundaries. You can be courteous and still refuse to explain yourself. But you have to stop apologizing for having boundaries. You have to stop justifying your exits as if leaving requires permission. Here's the system. EXIT. 4 steps. Each one builds on the last. Used correctly, this protocol lets you leave any conversation with authority and without being rude. E is for end with clarity. X is for exchange a boundary. I is for invite and next step. T is for terminate access. The first step is the exit line itself. 1 sentence. Calm tone. No stories. No apologies. No long explanations about where you're going or why you need to leave. Clarity is power. When you state your exit simply and clearly, You remove ambiguity. You're not negotiating. You're informing. Try this line. I'm going to stop you there. I need to go. It's direct, clean, no apology. You're not asking for permission. You're stating what's about to happen. Or this one, I have to run. Take care. This is neutral, polite, final. The take care is the closing punctuation. It signals the conversation is over. Or, I'm stepping out now. Present tense, immediate action. You're not saying I should go or I need to leave soon. You're saying it's happening right now. Now, for the delivery. Pause 1 to 2 seconds before you speak. This breaks their momentum and signals that you're about to change the dynamic. Lower your volume slightly. Not whispering, but calmer than the conversation has been. This communicates control, not anxiety. And stop smiling nervously. Keep a neutral face. You're not trying to soften the blow or apologize for leaving. You are simply stating what's happening. This approach aligns with the BIF method from the High Conflict Institute, which emphasizes brief and firm communication as a way to reduce unnecessary back and forth. You say what needs to be said and nothing more. The second step is the boundary. Most of the time, your exit line is enough. But sometimes, people push back. They ignore your exit. They keep talking. They act like you didn't just say you were leaving. That's when you exchange a boundary. You set a clear standard for what will and will not continue. A boundary is not rude. A boundary is architecture. It defines the structure of the interaction. It tells them, this is how far this goes. Use this line, I'm not discussing this right now. This works when they're trying to pull you into a topic you don't want to engage with. You're not saying never. You're saying not now. And not now means you control when. Or try, this isn't productive. I'm ending the conversation. This is for circular arguments, for conversations that are going nowhere, for people who are just venting at you without any intention of resolution. You name the problem and you state the consequence. Clean, firm, no negotiation. And for the persistent, there's, if you keep pushing, I'm going to leave. This is the warning line. You've already said you need to go. They ignored it. Now you're making it clear that continuing to ignore your boundary will result in immediate disengagement. Firmness is not aggression. Firmness is clarity. When you set a boundary with a calm, even tone, you're not attacking them. You're protecting yourself. And the room, the conversation, the other person, they all understand the difference. Aggression is emotional. Firmness is policy. This approach draws from DBT's Dear Man framework, specifically the components of asserting your needs while staying mindful of your objective. You don't get pulled into their argument. You set the boundary and hold it. The third step is optional. You only use it when you want to preserve the relationship or when offering structure serves you. Authority includes structure. When you offer a next step on your terms, you're not being dismissive. You're being efficient. You're saying, this conversation doesn't work right now, but here's when and how it can work. But understand this. The invitation is a gift, not an obligation. You offer it when it serves you, not because you feel guilty, not because they pressured you, only when you genuinely want to continue the conversation at a better time. Try this. Send it in a message and I'll respond later. This moves the conversation to asynchronous communication. You exit the real-time interaction, but you leave a door open on your terms. You respond when you're ready, not when they demand it. Or be specific. We can talk tomorrow at 3. This sets a clear time. You're not just saying, we'll talk later. You're defining exactly when later is. And by choosing the time, you maintain control of your schedule. For heated conversations, use this. Let's continue when we are both calm. You're acknowledging that the current dynamic isn't productive and you're setting a condition. We continue when emotions are regulated. Not before. This aligns with DBT's negotiate component, but only after respect for your boundary is established. You don't negotiate your exit. You exit first. Then, if appropriate, you offer structure for future engagement. The fourth step is follow-through. The power is in the follow-through. You don't argue your exit. You don't stand there defending your decision to leave. You don't let them pull you into one more thing. You said you're leaving, so you leave. If you're in person, stand up. Turn your body 45 degrees away. Take a step toward the exit. You're physically demonstrating that the conversation is over. If you're on a call, say, "I'm done here." Then end the call. Not in 5 seconds. Not after they respond. Immediately. If you're texting, stop replying. Don't send a closing message. Don't explain why you stopped. You said you were done. The conversation ends. Most people sabotage this step. They say they're leaving, but they linger. They give one more minute. They let the person pull them back in. And every time they do that, they teach the person that their exits are negotiable. But when you follow through every single time, when your words match your actions, people stop testing you. They learn that when you say you're done, you mean it. This comes from the Biff Method's guidance on ending hostile exchanges. You state your position, you set your boundary, and you disengage. No prolonged back and forth. No extended debates. You exit and you stay exited. So, to recap, E. End with clarity. X. Exchange a boundary. I. Invite a next step. T. Terminate access. Master this, and you master your time. You master your focus. You master your life. Thanks for watching. If you found this valuable, subscribe for more content on mastering your personal power.